Shabbat shalom, everyone. We're having a little trouble hearing, or there's a little bit of crackling sound. We're going to try and fix that. In the meantime, Shabbat shalom. It is nice to see so many of you, at least a number, see so many of you. And I want to give a special shout out and a Shabbat shalom and a Bruchim Habayim, a welcome to all of the congregants of my colleagues. There you go. My colleague Rabbi Larry Mallinger's congregation, Temple Shalom of Aberdeen, New Jersey. We are delighted to have you, delighted that you get to join us. Thank you to Rabbi Mallinger for sending all of you our way. We're just grateful and glad that you get to celebrate Shabbat. And may it be not so such a distant point in the future that we are able to celebrate Shabbat maybe together. So thank you, welcome. We hope you enjoy the service. I know all my congregants at Temple Sinai are glad to have you with us.
Let us know if now you hear us better.
Yeah. If you have any trouble, we always love a Shabbat Shalom from anyone and everyone into the chat box. If you got a little bit of an issue with the sound, please let us know as always. We welcome Shabbat accompanied by angels into our homes. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Peace be to you, O ministering angels, messengers of the Most High.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Bimelech, Malchei Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Machem leShalom, Malachei השלום, מלאכי עליון, מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
God, we offer you thanks for this Shabbat which unites us not in space, but in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in the darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer you thanks and blessing.
זמרו לאדוני בהינו, בהינו, בקול זמרה. 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 אמרו לאדוני בהינו, בהינו, בקול זמרה.
We welcome the Shabbat as a bride, the Chadodi.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, בני שבת נקבלה.
לשם ולתפארת ולבחירה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, לשבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, לשבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, בראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף המעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, בשבת נקבלאי, וכבודי לקראת כלה, יאללה, 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 בשבת נקבלאי.
התעוררי, התעוררי, איבה עולה קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר דדרי, כבוד אדוני עלייך.
וכבודי לקראת כלה, יאללה, 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 בשבת נקבלאי, לכבודי לקראת כלה, יאללה, 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 בשבת נקבלאי.
We rise, we turn to the door, we welcome the Shabbat bride.
בואי ושרו עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי הלה, בואי הלה, לכבודי לקראת כלה, יאללה, 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 בשבת נקבלאי, לכבודי לקראת כלה, יאללה, 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 בשבת נקבלאי.
Tonight is not only just a Shabbat for us to celebrate God's creation, but we have another big celebration this Shabbat, and that is that our long-standing congregants, Allie and Norman Klein, are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary today. If you looked in the chat, you'd see lots of good wishes, and we invited Allie and Norman. They are all the way coming from us, all the way to us from the Berkshires. It's really nice to be able to welcome them and to have them light our Shabbat candles. But before they do that, after 60 years, you are most deserving of a blessing. So I want to offer a blessing to you. Eternal God, eternal source of blessing, we turn to you in gratitude for the strength and for the devotion that have preserved and sustained Norman and Allie and permitted them to reach this special occasion. We hope that in the midst of family, in the midst of friends, in the midst of a congregational community that has been your home for so many of those 60 years, that you will continue to have blessings of health, of happiness, of prosperity and peace, and that we will be able to share many, many more anniversaries with you. And with that, we invite Allie and Norman, the other one, there we go, to light our Shabbat candles. Go ahead and light our Shabbat candles.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu asher kishanu b'tov v'tzivah shel Shabbat.
Amen, and wishing you many, many wonderful times. We love that you were able to join us. And Norman, love the beard. All right, everyone. Thank you, Allie and Norman.
Thank you, thank you.
Oop. Okay. We continue our service as we rise for Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? La 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 la.
Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed
Lai 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 lai
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from another. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai, Amari v'Ravim. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם.
Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha dedar v'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha dedar v'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar v'kodesh. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu lesharon, Hamideinu Shomreinu Lechayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu lesharon, v'hamideinu shomreinu lechayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu lesharon, ve'amideinu shomreinu lechayim.
People of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, observing the Sabbath in every generation as a covenant for all time. It is a sign forever between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days the eternal God made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from labor and rested.
Bnei Israel et HaShabbat אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
We rise for tefillah for Amidah.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והתורה, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם, למען שמו ואהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור עולם אדוני, וחיה כל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הקהל. מקלקל חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומטיל אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לי שני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבולות ומדום אליו, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך הקדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Praise be Adonai for Shabbat and its holiness.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and to all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion.
Baruch atah Adonai המחסיד שכינתו לציון, מודים אנחנו לה.
God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks.
Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shemcha v'lechanai lehodot. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Ki ata melech Adon, lechol hashadon. Ki ata melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Etov beinecha levaarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
Before we take a moment for silent personal prayer, we think about our friends and our neighbors, members of our community, members of our own family who are in need of God's blessing of healing. On this Shabbat, we are especially thinking about Audrey Aronchik and Deanna Aronchik, Charles Barna, Francine Barna, Baruch Ben Sion Ben Bracha Chaya, Nathan Braun, Sam Brenner, Leslie Center, Elliot Citron, Dr. Helen Fagan, Erin Gordon, Dennis Greenwald, Deborah Hartman, Luis Hernandez, Peter Herrera, Susan Jones, Benjamin Lechner, Jack Lieb, Judy Levy, Leah Bat Margalit, Shammai Ben Michael, Miriam Bat Meir, Robert Parker, Roberta Weinberg Patek, Shaul Ben Moshe Varivka, Ingrid Roskin, Janice Schneider, Lillian Stein, Kevin Webb, Iris Weingarten, Sid Weisel, and Dov Ben Yona. We think about all of them and we ask God's blessing upon them. Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov v'Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yavarech v'Yirapeh Techolim Kodesh Baruch Hu Yamalei Rachamim Alehem L'Hachlim Mam L'Rapotam L'Hachazikam L'Hachiotam V'Yishlach B'Mheira Refuah Shlema Refuat Nefesh U'Refuat Guf B'Tok Shar Choli Yisrael Hashta Ba'agalav Isman Kariv and Omar, and we say, Amen. Take a moment for silent personal prayer.
Shalom, Vim Brahma, say Shalom, Shalom, Vim Brahma, say Shalom, Shalom, Vim Brahma, say Shalom, Shalom, Vim Brahma. Hu Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'Haron Israel Vimru Amen. Hu Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel Vimru Amen.
So I'm going to give a shout out to Ed Miller. Thank you for wishing all of us Shabbat Shalom. I will tell Rabbi Mallinger that you were kind enough to give us a Shabbat Shalom. You get extra challah and Shabbat dessert. Thank you for joining us, and I hope the rest of the congregation feels welcome. I think we could all probably recite this by memory. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. After quoting the prophet Amos about justice rolling down like a mighty stream in his most famous speech, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. then belted out these words, a soaring vision of what our nation could become. In it, he captured the style of the ancient Hebrew prophets, howling against the injustice of their time, but then summoning their strength to describe a more worthy and noble future. 1 week ago, we lost a giant in the world in the work for racial justice. Congressman John Lewis's unflagging commitment to civil rights spans close to 6 decades. First standing with Dr. King and speaking at the March on Washington, then standing on Dr. King's shoulders after his death, Congressman Lewis became our nation's moral conscience. He was arrested, beaten bloody, skull fractured, and still he showed up to the labor over and over, urging us to never fear stepping into the good and necessary fray. This week, we're reminded not just from the death of Congressman Lewis, but from the Haftarah that we will read tomorrow morning. This weekend is Shabbat Chazon, the Shabbat of vision. We read the first chapter of the book of Isaiah, in which the prophet shares a vision of the people who have rebelled against God. Isaiah denounces the corrupt leaders of Israel, judges, priests, and prophets who have betrayed God's and Judaism's ideals. Yet, at the end of the Haftarah, Isaiah shares another vision, one which promises that Zion shall be redeemed with justice. Jerusalem will be redeemed only through the practice of righteousness, because only a just city, only a just country can become a home to the divine presence. So I ask the question, what does it mean for us to be brave as the ancestors we cherish? As the death toll from the pandemic surpasses 140,000, disproportionately Black and brown people, as more arrests have been made for protesting the murder of Breonna Taylor than there have been for the actual murder of Breonna Taylor, as we stare down an election season rife with obstacles, we are called to be as brave as Congressman Lewis. He anchored his life in the ethic of justice and righteousness. He reminds us, as Isaiah does, that justice and righteousness are paths to transforming our society into Dr. King's oasis of freedom and justice. That is their legacy, and that is our work. We join together for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We turn our hearts and our minds to those who are no longer with us. You'll notice that our Kaddish list is a little longer. We wanted to make sure that all of our friends from Temple Shalom feel welcome, and so we invited them to share with us their yort sites, so we read them now. Remember these for whom we are observing Shloshim: Bernick Glickman, Ethel Rubenstein, Vanetta Snethin, Barbara Weiss, Gladys Cortez, Natalie Rieger, Harriet Morse, Barry Reingold, Marilyn Newald, Isabel Corneo. Remember these whose yortzites, the anniversary of their passing, we commemorate this Shabbat: Molly Murtick Alexander, Marcy Bade, Clara Z. Barship, Miriam Binnick, Marilyn Block, Hyman Bornstein, Heinz Brodnitz, Jacob R. Cohen, Sophie Ellenby, Stanley Epstein, Joseph Harris Fink, Anna Mae Fishman, Hannah Frank, Emmanuel Friedman, Milton Gerber, Maria Guinness, Albert Goldberg, Yetta Goldberg, Rose Goldfeder, Anna Gordon, Max Greenfield, Stanley Heller, Samuel Hellerman, Irving Iskowitz, Ivan Kaplan, Solomon Katz, Anatoly Krivoruk, Adele Leinfuss, Kurt Lenque, Vera Levinson, Mary Lichto, Adolfo Link, Flora Lockwood, Shirley Lubarski, Dora Meltzer, Simon Mollett, Antonio Nault, Beatrice Nelson, Sylvia Novick, Marvin Nussbaum, Martin David Pearl, Nellie Pudlin, David Robinson, Joni Rosenblum, Kurt Sacke, Harold Shear, Sidney A. Schwartz, Dorothy R. Seinberg, Mark Schur, Selma Staffman, David Siegel, Morris M. Silver, Frank Silverman, Rose Sohn, Clara Sohn, Robert Spindell, Mel Spungen, Julius Tepero, Bessie Waxman, Natalie Weissman. We join together for Kaddish Yatom for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amad yivrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'galav v'izman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei umaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudashah.
Brichu.
Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabbah min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav. Uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved, as together we say, Amen. Once again, want to wish, we want to get that back up. How about that? There we go. Once again, I want to wish all of you a Shabbat Shalom. Again, thank you and welcome to our friends from Temple Sinai in Aberdeen, New Jersey. I want to say thank you to Helene Gordon, who sponsored our Shabbat in memory of Ann Gordon. Thank you, Sue Clow and your family in memory of Erwin. And Sue, again, thank you for honoring Norman and Allie on their very special wedding anniversary. This is Shabbat Chazon. Shabbat Chazon is the Shabbat before Tisha B'Av, the day when we commemorate the destruction of the first temple of Jerusalem, the second temple of Jerusalem, and many of the tragedies of Jewish life and Jewish history. We ask the question, why? Why is it that these things have happened to us? It's an eternal question. I want to invite you to join me next Thursday at 3 o'clock for just a slightly extended Talmud study where we're going to look at the question of why the temples in Jerusalem were destroyed. Remember a little bit about the holiday of Tisha B'Av. For those of you who were not with us last Sunday when Dr. Stephen Windmuller was our scholar in their residence, in his residence, you missed a wonderful lecture. For those of you who are local, you know that our own neighbor, although he's moved up to West Palm Beach, Rabbi Jeff Salkin is a wonderful teacher, just a brilliant mind, and I hope you'll join us, not this coming Sunday, but the next Sunday, August 2nd, for the fifth of our sixth session series. In this case, he's going to be talking a little bit about some of the brokenness that we feel and using that wonderful bard of Jewish life and American life, Leonard Cohen, as his frame. For those of you, even though if you missed out on the free shipping with our honey fundraiser, you can still do it. Please spread a little sweetness around. We know that we can always do that. And if you are feeling particularly generous and want to lighten your Shabbat load, make a donation to Temple Sinai. We appreciate it. tsnd.org/donate. Okay, the cantor doesn't even know what song we're ending with because he gave me the ability to choose. So I'm gonna
Surprise.
surprise. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. I think in this case, particularly.
I'm not prepared for this.
Yeah, well, in that case, I'll sing it by myself, which I'm not sure anybody's going to want. But certainly, in light of the memory of Congressman Lewis, we think about the chesed that we need to, loving kindness, the justice that we need to work for, and in doing that, build that world.
Olam chesed yibaneh, yarai, rai, 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 rai. 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 I will build this world from love. You say? And you must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, and God will build this world from love. Olam chesed, olam chesed yibaneh, olam chesed yibaneh, olam chesed yibaneh, olam chesed yibaneh.
We join together for Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כיום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת אמן. חיים.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom.